Hi guys, it's Miss Howard, and today we're going to review our editing skills. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, what is editing? Editing is correcting the mistakes in your writing. Why do we edit? We edit to make sure the writing is clear for the reader. So, what exactly do we edit? We edit for capitalization. So, we make sure that the first letter of a sentence, the names of people and places, and the pronoun I is always capitalized. Next, punctuation. We make sure we have the correct punctuation at the end of a sentence, and we put commas to fix the run-ons. And for spelling, we always use a dictionary if we're not sure. And in grammar, we have to think, does it sound right? And does the subject agree with the verb? So looking at them all together, it may seem like a lot of skills that we need to know when we're getting ready to edit our writing. So we're going to go ahead and practice these skills right now together. So here's our practice paragraph. The boy liked dogs. He knows how to take care of a dog. You can get a dog from a shelter. Next, take the dog to the vet. Then you need to buy food. Lastly, get your dog some toys. So first, we want to talk about the grammar. Do my sentences sound right? And does the subject agree with the verb? Let's take a look at this sentence. The boy liked dogs. That doesn't sound right. Let's take a deeper look into it. So in order for us to know if the subject and verb agree, we have to know which is which. So boy is our subject and like is our verb. So with subject and verb agreement, the subject and verb both have to be either singular or plural. Singular means only one, plural means more than one. Now let's go back to our sentence. So boy, our subject, is singular. It's only one boy. Like, the verb, is plural. It doesn't have an S. Now, to make it singular, we would have to add an S. That's easy to remember because singular starts with an S. So let's take a look at it with the S added to like. So we have the S added to like. So now both the subject and verb are singular. So remember, we added the S to like to make the verb singular. So what would happen if we added the S to boy? Let's take a look. So putting the S with boys makes the subject plural because that means it's more than one boy. And taking the S away from like makes it plural again. And the subject and verb agree. So here is our sentence corrected. The boy likes dogs or the boys like dogs. So in the first sentence, the subject and the verb are both singular. In the second sentence, the subject and the verb are both plural. Now let's move on to spelling. Did I spell words correctly? Use a dictionary, guys, if you're not sure. Let's take a look at a sentence from my paragraph. You can get a dog from a shelter. So we do have some words misspelled in this sentence. Can and shelter were both misspelled. Again, guys, if you have issues on this, please use a dictionary. And moving on now to capitalization. So you have to ask yourself, did I capitalize the first word of every sentence? Did I capitalize the names of people and places? And did I capitalize the pronoun I? Let's take a look at a sentence from our paragraph. Next, take the dog to the vet. Well, first off, the N in next should be capitalized. Why? Because it's the first letter in the first word of a sentence. Okay, so that change is made. Are there any other capitalization issues in this sentence? Yes, there is. Dog should actually not be capitalized. It's a common noun, not a proper noun, so it does not need to be capitalized. And there you go. Next, take the dog to the vet. No capitalization issues there. Lastly, let's look at punctuation. Ask yourself, did I put a punctuation mark at the end of every sentence? And did my punctuation marks match the type of sentence I wrote? Let's take a look at one. Then you need to buy food. Lastly, get your dog some toys. Well, first off, this is a run on sentence. So we're going to need some punctuation in there to separate this into two sentences. He is telling us an order of the things that we need to do to take care of a dog. So I think then you need to buy food. I think there should be a period there because that's one step, because he goes into the next step when he says lastly. So I think that's a really good spot for a period. And there it is. Then you need to buy food. Period. Lastly, get your dog some toys. How does that sound? Sounds good. How does it look? Right, it doesn't look correct because there's a question mark at the end, and they're not asking us a question. What should actually be there? If you said another period, you're right. And there you go. Looks good, sounds good. All right, guys, so now we want to look at commas. Okay, where do we put the commas to fix those run-on sentences? We want to fix our run-on sentences to make them either compound or complex sentences. Let's take a look at that. So where do the commas go? In a compound sentence, the comma goes after the first little sentence before the fanboy conjunction. So this sentence reads, it's fun having a dog, comma, but that can be a lot of work. In a complex sentence, the comma goes in between the two little sentences. This sentence would read, because she promised to be responsible, comma, her parents got her a dog. So before I let you guys go, I want to leave you with some editing tips. First off, never choose make no change. Okay? Next, you want to eliminate the obvious wrong answers first. So if you have a question that has an answer choice of make no change, you know you have to eliminate that one. Okay? And questions usually have two answer choices that can be eliminated really quickly. So once you eliminate make no change, all you have to do is eliminate one more, and then you already at that point have a 50-50 chance of getting it right because you've narrowed it down to two answer choices. And lastly, you want to plug in each answer choice in the sentence to test it out. Okay, so those two that you have it narrowed down to, you want to take those two and plug them in to the passage and plug them into the sentence that they're asking you to correct to see which one is the correct one. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please email your teacher or come to tutorials at 11 o'clock. All right, guys, have a good day.